What is up, guys? It's me. I haven't live streamed in a while. We're gonna let some people roll in here. Cause yeah. Just took a shower, so my hair is all like still drying. All right, let's I have live chat up. Let's hope. Okay, there we go. I know this is a little bit early, so it might take a little bit for people to jump in. Usually I stream around 2:30 to 3-ish, and that's usually when we get a lot of people. Right now, a lot of people are still going to probably be in school. So, but this is all I can do because I have a physical therapy appointment. So we're just going to do this, and we might sit here a little bit, wait for some people to come in before we really get rolling. Just make sure everything's going well on here. There we go. Okay. Here we are. There we go. And there we are. All right. I've done that. There we go. Ferocious Fragilus, what's up, dude? We're just waiting for everybody to kind of get out of school. Yeah, there was one other person here earlier, and then so it looks like the notifications are finally going out, and yeah, notifications are kind of delayed, so it took like 3 minutes for them to go out, and also people are in school. So here we go. Now we're getting an influx of people. We have Lukezilla, we have King Egypticus, we have Trojan Dragon with the Shroom. G-Day lads, I love that their thumbnail. Yes, it is a nice thumbnail. Tell me why. Tell you why what? Long time no talk, Artsy. I almost called you by your meme name. Dilo. Let's stay PG clean here. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Wait, what the heck? Why is everybody making that reference? How are you? I am good. How about you? Just haven't streamed in a while. I told people on Dino Nation I would yesterday, but I didn't because I ended up kind of running out of time. But then also, when I did have time, Gibson already arranged to do a stream, so I just decided to sit it out and let him do his stream. So I don't want to seem like I'm pushing you, but how is MI episode 3 going? Well, it hasn't been going the last couple days. Busy with other things, but today's going to be my day getting right back into that. But I'm doing really good on it. I'm really happy with it. It's going to be coming out soon. So now that I've gotten a lot more off my plate by shutting down Dino Nation and everything, there's a lot of really great free time that I've gotten since then. So yeah, and I don't work this afternoon. I only work the morning. So I work tomorrow, but then I have the rest of the weekend off. So I'll have a lot of time to get stuff done. And yeah, so very, very soon. It's bugging me just as much as bugging you. Oh, I didn't get that reference when he said it that way. I didn't know that's what he was going for. That's a nice plastic turtle. Where's the plastic turtle? Okay. So I already read that. I just want to know what killed Mummy Iguanodon. Oh, well, that answer is probably in the trailers already, but you'll definitely get to find out in this episode. So opinions on Collective 2020? Oh, only one dud for me this year so far. The Baryonyx is just as bad as the other one. It's barely smaller at all, so the few changes they did do to it, which I know Spino Dude, he was telling me a bunch that, like, you know, the smaller size kind of fixes it for him because he doesn't hold as much weight to it. And I can kind of get that. But then just last night he found out that it's actually not that much smaller than the other Baryonyx, and so yeah, that kind of switched around any hope that figure had of redemption. So that figure's just trash. But the Protoceratops is cool. It's cool. I'm not going to get it because it's huge, and I'm going to get the Beast of the Mesozoic one if I'm going to get a Proto that big. There's no reason for me to put my money into that one. But I do think it's good. I do think it's good. I don't have anything against it. There's just a better one that I'd rather get. The Microraptor, I love it. I love it. I'm not really like that drawn to Microraptor's figures for some reason. I think Microraptor is a cool dinosaur. Just for some reason, I've never been really into any of the figures I've ever seen of it. But that one looks really cool. I like the pose a lot. The scruffiness to it. It really looks like a vicious little lad, and I like it. The is probably my favorite out of all of them. I just think it looks really cool. It has a nice little color to it, and it's really cool that we're getting another Japanese dinosaur, but I like its head a lot. I just think its head is very satisfying. I like the pattern on its head, so that one's definitely my favorite. My second favorite is the Sultry Venator that was revealed last night. That one looks really cool. Really nice. Definitely going to be getting a hold of that one. And I actually did, in the Paleo Rewind for 2018, I actually got to do the segment on the Edges Paleo Rewind. I got to do the segment about Sultry Venator, so I know a little bit about it, and it's pretty cool. So I'd love to get a hold of that one. I definitely want to get the Cerato, and so that one with the Cerato would look really cool with the, you know, the contrasting colors. I think they'd look really great next to each other. And the Bahatosaurus looks awesome. I don't know how Collective managed to jump on that quickly, but props to them. They jumped on it, and they did a pretty decent job. So yeah, all of them are sitting pretty good. Do you know who Joe is? No idea. Still feel sad about DN, but I know that we all have to move on eventually. Yeah, I've definitely been sad the last couple of days. I've like clicked back on Dino Nation. Just when I was making the stream, I was going to share it on Dino Nation, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's not there anymore. It's sad for me too, but it needed to happen. It needed to happen. Who is bigger, a Spinosaurus or Sigilmassasaurus? Spinosaurus, because Sigilmassasaurus doesn't exist. Haha. Wait, when did you get Beast of the Mesozoic figures? Oh, those. I don't know. Don't know when those happened. Yeah, I have quite a few Beast of the Mesozoic figures up there. I was going to try to block them off and save them for the collection video, but whatever. If you guys are in the stream, then you get a first-hand view of the figures I've been getting there. My new favorite figures to collect. I've waited so long on them, and then I got my first one, which was the black one, the Black Velociraptor, and I just love them. And yeah, I'll go a little bit more into detail in the collection video, but yeah, I have a bunch of Beast of the Mesozoic stuff up there, and I'm in love with them. I have tournament days. I don't know which tournaments you're talking about. Although I've got a pretty good feeling that it was the Deinosuchus. What was his name again? Alpha. Well, his name was Douglas, but that's been changed to Irwin. I just recently changed it to Irwin. In the memory of Steve Irwin, recently Steve Irwin Day came up, and I was I was thinking about that, and I was like, why did I never decide to name like the crocodile character Irwin? And I was like, it's great. I'm just gonna name this Deinosuchus Irwin because I think it's a cooler name than Douglas. Even though he's been called Douglas since the very beginning, I've just decided to change it. So his name's Irwin now. Yeah, there's the most recent name change in the MI canon, but he hasn't been named in the show yet, so it's still okay. Who do you think? Who do you think of the Paposmilodon? I like it, and I have it too. The Paposmilodon, I think that gets a little bit too much flack. I get why people don't care for it, but I think it's a very creative design, and there's definitely a part of me that kind of likes it. Hola. I don't like the sultry Venator legs. The legs are all right. I think the feet are a little big, but whatever. I got over the feet on the Safari Stratosaurus, so if you're okay with that one, then you should be okay with this one. So if you will ever pick up a Carnegie figure, which one will it be? Well, I already have a bunch of Carnegie figures, but if I get any more, it'd probably be somehow if I can get the Carno or the Concavenator, that would be awesome. The Carnegie Cryolophosaurus would be pretty cool. But two that I'm pretty dang sure I'm going to end up getting at some point because they're very readily available is the Dylong and the Bapiosaurus. I think those are pretty nice. The Mirror Guy is nice, and that's pretty much all the ones I'm interested in at this point. I don't think there's any other Carnegie figures I'm really interested in getting. Maybe the Carnegie Brachiosaurus, like the newer red and green one with the arched neck. I think that'd be cool. I just had my first cross-country race. Whoa! How did you go? Did you win? I like to collect the Bahatosaurus, Fukisaurus, Protoceratops. I like Get. Turtles. A bunch of turtles. I love Papo. You were saying Paco. It's P-A-P-O. Not P-A-Q-O. I've recently been getting into Chinese stuff. Yeah, Chinese stuff is pretty awesome, man. Tyrannosaurus from over there. Safari is the best. Safari is awesome. Hello there. Can one Giganosaurus kill 100 Utah Raptor? I don't think so. I don't think that's much of a fight. Collecta's lineup is best in my opinion from what I've seen. So far, Collecta's lineup is my favorite out of the new stuff. Yeah, definitely. I think there's the least problems I have with those ones. But obviously, Beast of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series is the best objectively. So, you know, I plan on naming the character from my show planned by the Safari Trike Blackberry as a reference to both Blueberry from MI and to a character from Watership Down. That's pretty cool. Blackberry, that's a pretty good idea. Then you can do one Raspberry and Strawberry. The Carnegie Carno is so cool. Yeah, it really is. Rip Steve Irwin, I love you, mate. Best person that ever lived. I'm mad you changed your dino's name to Irwin. I was gonna name a character Irwin. Go for it. Doesn't matter. I don't copyright the name. Which Beast of Mesozoic Ceratopsian squad are you in? # Team Toro for the win. All of them. Now there's a lot of them that I really like. Yeah, there's my favorite is definitely the adult trike. The adult Toro is also one that I definitely want to get. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil everything that I've got because I got quite a few figures from the campaign. And I guess we'll get to discover those through the unboxings and stuff. And I'm going to get even more once they actually come out because the Ceratopsian series is by far my favorite. I'm almost done with all of the Beast Mesozoic Raptors that I want. Maybe a couple more I'll get, but the Ceratopsian series is amazing. I really want a lot of those, and I love Ceratopsians. What's your next Safari Collecta and Papo and Schleich figure? I don't know. Only the future will tell. I mean, in terms of which ones I want, that's a different story. I really like to get a hold of, like, there's some old Safari stuff I'd love to get a hold of. I'm not going to get into all those, but out of the new Safari stuff, I'd love to get the Ichthyosaurus is definitely my favorite. The Shringosaurus looks great. I'd like to get the Chiansaurus. The Sarco would be something I'd be interested in getting. The Edmontosaurus isn't my favorite, but I'd be interested in getting it to see how it is. And the Packy. The rest of that lineup, I'm not really that excited for. But yeah, and then then you said Collecta. I still want the Collecta Carno desperately. I'd also really like to get the Fukisaurus, the Fukiraptor, and the Sultry Venator, the Ceratosaurus. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to get. Papo. I'd like to get my hands on a Running Rex. That'd be pretty cool. I'm probably going to end up getting the Papo limited edition Spino first, though. That one's now delayed to December. So whenever that finally comes out, and after all these delays, then I'll be able to pay for it. It's very annoying not being able to pay for it and just get it out of the way, because I'm not really that excited about it. I don't think it's that good of a figure, but I need some more Spinosaurus figures that can kind of work for Mesozoic Alpha Season 2. I have a lot of plans with Spinosaurus, so yeah, I really need that figure. Has your opinion changed on the Safari Chancellorsaurus since we have seen it in hand now? I got to see it in hand fairly early on because I'm friends with Gibson. But it was definitely not changed very much. I grew to like it quite a bit, and I thought it was very interesting. I still think the mouth doesn't look good. I think the teeth could have been done a lot better, and the lips are just covering up everything that makes the mouth cool, and it just looks very sloppy in there. That hasn't changed at all. The rest of it looks quite cool. I think the colors look better in hand overall. The stripes old for my taste with the way that they are. They're just kind of, I don't like the stripes, but the rest of it's fine. So overall, would I say it improved? No. Would I say it went down? No. I just think it's there. Okay, I don't know if I cut out there. It said that my connection was unstable. But I basically said, do I think it improved? No. Do I think it got worse? No. I think it just kind of stayed the same, because it had pluses and minuses to seeing it in hand. So I'm still very interested in getting it. What's next? The Vitae Giga. That is the PNSO Giga. And there's that blue atomic version of the NECA Godzilla that's up there. It's pretty cool. Oof, there's so much here. I'm sorry if I missed one of your comments. If you really want me to see it, please tag my name, put @ symbol and Kikizilla101, and that will tag me, and I'll be able to see your message. Jeez, there's so many messages. Do you know if Therizinosaurus lived with Deinonychus? Yes, I do. I realized everything wrong with the Collecta 140th Deluxe berry, but it's still cool. Just ordered mine from Everything Dinosaur. Oh, cool. Green really helps. I'm sick of the delayed Spino. Yeah, it's just kind of tedious for me because I really want to buy it and get it over with. I just have it like hovering over my head. I know that Tyrannosaurus probably didn't have as much feathers as we once thought, but it still mega bugs me that the Chancellorsaurus doesn't have feathers. I don't get why people are really bugged by that, because it's still like you just said, like Tyrannosaurus have been increasingly proving themselves to have less and less feathers on them, at least the derived ones. Like we have a Daspletosaurus skull that doesn't have any feathers on it, so it's proving that, even something like a Daspletosaurus didn't have feathers on its face, at least. T-Rex wasn't covered with feathers. Really, there's nothing to prove that Chancellorsaurus would have had feathers. It's very derived as well. So I really don't think that it's worth people freaking out over it having feathers. Do I think it would have looked cooler with feathers? Sure, but Safari is going for accuracy, and I think when in doubt, it's best to go with the safest route. Which is why I always say that you need to go for smaller lips. Don't make your lips very big, because I can pretty much tell you it probably wasn't like that. Maybe there's one species of dinosaur with abnormally large lips, but I really don't think they have big lips. And you got to go the safest route. So I think Safari did the perfect choice there in terms of integument. Okay, so would you rather take the Papo Cryo or the Papo Carno Cryo? I have 48 subs. Nice. I do like the new Collecta Berry, mainly because all the new deluxe figures are unavailable in my country. That's sad. Why is that? Now that Collecta has done a Fukisaurus and a Fukiraptor, all we need now is the Fuki Titan. Long live Fuki Bros. One time I got on a Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong stream, everyone was like, oh my god, it's Smurfy. Really? They recognize you over there. That's pretty cool. I'm a head out. All right, see you, Post-Sucus. People in France have been finding 2019 Spino. That's very odd. Hello there. I used a coupon code at Hobby Lobby and got the Safari Feathered T-Rex for only $15. Damn, that's a steal of a deal. What is your favorite Godzilla monster? Well, Godzilla. But if I had chose something that isn't Godzilla... That's tough at this point. There's quite a few top picks. Close ones to Godzilla are the 2019 Mothra, 2019 Rodan. I really love those designs. Megaguirus, Space Godzilla, and Biollante are all pretty high favorites. Oh, and Baragon, GMK Baragon. I love all those characters. It's really hard for me to put in a list because I haven't really thought about it in a while, so I'm just going to give you all that. Sorry. Quit and Shring, I think you mean Qian, are the first two I'm going to grab. Cool. Eric the other day was telling me about the cinematic masterpiece that is Mountain Monsters. Oh, God, yeah. Mountain Monsters is special. Well, some of my friends think Mattel is the best dinosaur figure company, and I'm like, guys, what happened to Safari? Some people like the more toy stuff, and if that's their style of thing, then I guess Mattel would be the best. What would you do if Safari would do figures like Terra, those Mattel bootleg things? What would you do if Safari would do figures like Terra? Those Mattel bootleg things. I don't get what you mean by Mattel bootleg things. I don't know if you think that Terra by Batat is bootlegs of Mattel, which just isn't true. I don't know what you mean by that. Can you rephrase that, please? My favorite Godzilla monster is Titanus Barnacellus. Is that Gibson? I have been looking into Godzilla stuff. Is King of the Monsters worth watching? Yes! Yes! It's like the best Godzilla movie if you're just a Godzilla fan. Like Godzilla, the 1954 movie is fantastic for people that were born in that era. Fantastic for people that, can connect with that thing. I wasn't in Japan during the bombings of Hiroshima. I can't personally connect to those. Those mean that movie doesn't have as much meaning to me as it would for something like that. I'm not going to pretend to be some social warrior that I can connect with all those messages that I have no business connecting to or relating to, period. I was never in those events. So I choose to not be the kind of person that just says, oh, yeah, Godzilla 1954 is the best movie. Well, it's a very great Godzilla movie. But Godzilla has changed and evolved into so many different things that interpretation of Godzilla is really not what Godzilla has become. He is not really, that is not the best embodiment of the most versions or iterations of Godzilla at this point. It's a specific version. Same thing with Shin Godzilla. Those are very derived versions of Godzilla that are specific versions of Godzilla that are aimed to deliver a certain message. They're fantastic versions for what they're trying to accomplish. But if you're really going for the most up-to-date, best interpretation of Godzilla as a whole with the monster fights and all that stuff, Godzilla King of the Monsters is where it's at. And that's the kind of stuff I'm into. So I just love King of the Monsters. I like the fact that they picked obscure species, theropod species, Chansausaurus. As far as 2020 theropods were concerned, I was really hoping for a good model of an Albellosaurid, Majungasaurus. An Albellosaurid would be pretty cool. Hey, Kiki, I know the movie came out a while ago, but what are your final thoughts on King of the Monsters? You guys looking at Monsters? Yet again, fantastic movie. I really love it. I think the human characters are done fantastically well. They mirror the monsters in great artistic fashion. There's a really great video by Filmento I'd highly recommend checking out his video if you want to dive into a little bit more of how the human characters reflect the monsters. It's really fantastic. It breaks down well. Yeah, it's just a really great movie. I thought it was really great. Can a lion kill a Smilodon? I don't think so. Sure, they're not the same size. There's not much difference. Sure, the Smilodon has big teeth, but like with a quick battle like that, it's not going to be able to get its teeth around it that easily. So I think it's pretty fair matchup. What's up, chat? So I saw some of your old videos. I saw Veron and Baragon were on your top 3. Yeah, back then. That video you can't take for very much. I don't know what I was doing. Like, I just rushed through making that. There's a bunch of characters on there. I just genuinely have never, I don't think would have ever been in my top 10. Like King Ghidorah, why the hell was King Ghidorah on that list? I've never been a big fan of King Ghidorah. I think he's cool, but I've never thought like he was top 10 material. I think this new iteration of him definitely is. But in that one, I think I was just excited to make a top 10, and I was just whatever monsters popped up into my mind. And I wasn't thinking about all of them at the time, so just whatever ones popped up into my mind. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like King Ghidorah, and I just threw him in there. You can't take that one for granted. But Veron, yes, I've always loved Veron's design. I think he's very interesting, very cool monster. Wish I could have seen his original film. Love to get my hands on that sometime. I think that'd be really fun. Baragon's also still one of my favorites of all time. Yeah. Yeah, Terra does not knock off Mattel. I mean, like these cheap plastic boyos that have glowing eyes and tongue and make Godzilla sounds. Oh, you mean those newer ones that that Terra's been making? Those. Yeah, those are trash. I don't like that. I wish the the Terra would stick with their smaller, full-on plastic figures, the smaller ones. My favorite kaiju is Godzilla, but I did really like Pacific Rim. So Knifehead is my second favorite. Otachi's my third favorite kaiju, and then Behemoth. Behemoth has gotten a lot of popularity recently. I mean, like these. I already read that. Yeah, I was on a plane just a few hours ago, and I watched King of the Monsters again, and I love it. Yeah, it's amazing. So rewatchable. I did Smiley did a favor by translating cookie in Japanese for the name cookie. Basically the same thing. Good day, Kiki. Did you see the new Overwatch 2 trailer? Yes, Spiner Dude actually showed that to me a while ago. It looks pretty cool. Almost makes me want to get back into the game, but I'm smart. I'm going to wait for it to come out before I ever buy anything, and I still might not get it because I'm boycotting Blizzard because I hate them. I have a feeling the next Beast of the Mesozoic line is going to be Stegosaurus. No, it's Tyrannosaurs. They've already confirmed that. At the end of the Ceratopsian line, it said that the next line is Tyrannosaurus. And they actually did that with the Raptor line. At the end of the Raptor line, on the Kickstarter, they said that David Silva said that the Ceratopsians would be the next one. So he's always announcing which one's next, and so it's going to be pretty cool to see some Tyrannosaurs that can go with the Ceratopsians. That'd be pretty cool. They came out at the same time of Mattel's releases to ride off their the popularity. Did you just start streaming? No, I've been streaming for 28 minutes. I'm sick of the fan base freaking out that they're not being a Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. I'm so sick of it. I definitely want a Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, but I am so happy that I'm going to be able to wait to an extent because I'm not going to get as many spoilers. It's going to be easier to wait. I just want to see the first trailer. I made a promise to myself. I'm seeing the first trailer. I'm not watching anything else. I'm not letting the trailer spoil things for me again. It did not ruin my experience with Godzilla King of the Monsters, but I wish that I didn't know as many things were going to happen in the movie. It would have made the experience a lot more fun and exciting. Like, for instance, spoiler alert, I'm not going to say it. There's a thing that Godzilla does in the movie that I didn't want to know happens. If I didn't know about it, then it would have completely surprised me in the movie, and I would have been like, what the hell? But, I already knew that was coming. I was still like, whoa! But I wasn't like, what the hell? Also, update on Overwatch 2. All the new characters and PvP content and the new engine and graphics are going to be 100% free for current players of the game which is pretty slit. Cool. Is that a NECA Godzilla Tonic Blast? Yes, that is. What's your next Bandai figure? Probably not any. I'm not collecting Bandai stuff anymore. I'm collecting NECA Godzilla stuff. Maybe some Art Spirits Godzilla stuff. But if I get any more Bandai figures, it will be the GMK Mothra and King Ghidorah, because I don't have those, but I do have the GMK Godzilla and Baragon over there. So, yeah. Yeah, YouTube notifications do suck. I sat in this stream for almost 3 minutes without anybody in it because the notifications were taking that long. Hyanodon is a dog on drugs, but it's not a dog. Beast of Mesozoic and Ankylosaurids would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's just one of the most recent things Blizzard's done, but I've played Overwatch for almost 2 years, and God damn, it just ran me dry. I really don't like that company and how they run things and how they update their games. I've had to deal with enough with them that I just don't think they're worth the stress. The single player aspect is really what's or the single player and co-op aspect is really what is interesting me in Overwatch 2, but if Blizzard doesn't shape up their act anytime soon, I'm not buying it. I'm boycotting them because screw them. What would you say is the modern equivalent to T-Rex? I don't know. I mean, if you equate all of the other animals to certain things in the environment, like on a smaller scale, then I guess I don't know. I don't know if there's an actual niche that kind of goes well with that. I guess a bear, like more of like a Kodiak bear or a brown bear, like a coastal bear that's more carnivorous and less herbivorous. Something like that, I guess, would probably be a lot more similar to that. Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm really sad I missed King of the Monsters. It was in cinemas in Australia when I left, and it was out of the US when I arrived. So you just like narrowly avoided it. That sucks. Hey, Spino, challenge you to Overwatch on PS4 if you have one. He doesn't have Overwatch on the PS4. He has Overwatch on the PC. Dino Exos, where are you from? Not saying. Did you hear about Eofauna Sauropods figures and facts line? No, I haven't heard of a new line from Eofauna. That's pretty interesting. I'm now in Georgia. Is there a Tyrannosaur closer to me than in the Appalachians? I don't know. I don't think there's a ton of fossil material that low, that southeast in the country. But I don't know. I don't know personally, so I think you'd have to look that up for yourself. If it wasn't for Camo, Blizzard would have appeared in Season 4 as a dead corpse. Yeah, he probably would have. Dead truth. Gibson would have killed him off a while ago if he wasn't, already confirmed to be alive. What dinosaurs would you like to see in Beast of Mesozoic Ceratopsians accessory pack? Well, they'd have to be ceratopsians. Maybe a Leptoceratops or some other species of Psittacosaurus with different colorations, like the miniature versions would be pretty cool. Some babies. I want some nestlings. That would be really nice. If we get some baby ceratopsians, that would be cool. I'd say that a grizzly bear is like a modern equivalent to the Tyrant Lizard King, but then again, the reason I didn't say grizzly bears because grizzly bears are a little smaller, but they're also more landlocked. Grizzly bears are the landlocked ones, and they're a lot more herbivorous and a lot less hunter orientated than Kodiak bears and brown bears. Grizzly bears are brown bears, but they're actually the terrestrial, more landlocked variation of them. When they're more coastal, they're referred to as brown bears, or if they're on the Kodiak Island, they're Kodiak bears. And those ones have a lot more of a marine diet. They have a lot more of a carnivorous diet, a lot less herbivorous material that they're feasting on. They're a lot more hunter orientated based on the material there. So yeah. You can say Kiki is a ceratopsian lover for life. Oh yeah, I'm a dinosaur lover for life, man. I'm super disappointed in how the Safari 2020 Sarcosuchus turned out, since I both love the genus and have been waiting for a solid model of him, and I feel Safari really dropped the ball. I agree with you. And you and I are not alone on that. I was waiting for a long time for Sarcosuchus. I love Sarcosuchus, easily my favorite prehistoric genus of crocodilian. They're just awesome. Sarcosuchus is awesome. And the proportions on that thing is really messed up. The detail's really large for how big the figure is going to be. I would agree. I'm quite disappointed with it as well, but at the same time, it's still the best Sarcosuchus that's out right now. And I'm still going to get a hold of it and just see how it turns out in hand. But yeah, I'm disappointed as well. I'm very disappointed as well. I want a PNSO Myasora, and because PNSO's bases are so amazing, it would have a nest with nestlings on it. Wouldn't that just be awesome? Dude, I get that. Well, let's hold the phone. If it's good. Because a lot of PNSO stuff is so hit and miss with me. They always have this weird quality to them. They always do this weird... There's always something weird with them. Like the PNSO Giga, for example, is like... It has a weird looking head, but its back line is really messed up. Like it's got some disease where its spine is arching in weird ways. That's something I could get over. Some figures have those weird things where I can get over them. Other ones just don't. So yeah, it's really hit and miss with PNSO, but I really hope that they could do a good one. Have you seen a dinosaur office by college? Oh yeah, I've seen that years ago. I thought it was really funny when I watched it years ago, but I haven't seen it now. I just need to see these puppies in MI. Which puppies? Which figures are you talking about? Ceratopsians? I'm not sure what you're talking about. My favorite beast Mesozoic ceratopsid is the Utah ceratops or the Torosaurus. Those ones are pretty good choices. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Utah ceratops colors turn out, because the Gila monster colors look awesome. I like how Safari has all of the new Prehistoric World stuff for pre-order. Packy is available. The Concav is not complaining either. Yeah, the Concav is just... That is just... I don't know what they did with that. I don't know what they did with that. Figures have a horrible habit of making a 40-foot Gharial super boring. Yeah, they do. Dimetrodon babies. What is your opinion on the PNSO Shantungosaurus? Looks all right. Too expensive for me. I don't think it's got enough to bring to the table that to make me warrant getting it. But yeah. I hope Safari makes a new, better Maiasaur with nestlings. I'm there with you, brother. That's still my favorite Carnegie figure I have, is the Maiasaur with nestlings. Who else is scared about how big the Beast Mesozoic T-Rex and Tarbo is going to be if the adult trike is already huge? Well, they're not going to be much bigger than the trike. Sure, they'll be longer, but overall size is not going to be that bigger. What I'm worried about is how they're going to stand. Because, I mean, we clearly figured something out with the taco, but I'm really curious to see how the taco is going to be able to stand, because it doesn't have a base like the Raptors and a little peg, to hold it up. It just has, it's two. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to work. And the whole Tyrannosaur line either has to have all bases or all have something like that going, but some of them are going to be big, so I'm really curious how it's going to work out. And there's obviously going to be a T-Rex to go with scale with the Trike, so yeah, I don't know. No, I already said he doesn't have a PS4, my dude. Beast of the Mesozoic T-Rex will be similar size to the Mattel Rex. Yeah, probably. I'm so mad of the Spino and JP3 getting hate for killing a T-Rex when it's not even the largest and strongest carnivore. Well, it's not if you consider like a lot of crocodilians. No, like a Sarcosuchus or Dinosuchus, yeah, easily have the power outmatching. I mean, even something like a Mosasaurus and stuff like that. There's other things that can compete with that. But in terms of dinosaur world, I mean, the T-Rex is pretty up there. I wouldn't say that it's that solid, that it's not the strongest, at least in terms of bite force. Yeah, physical brutality, probably. But yeah, I always loved the idea of the Spinosaurus taking the spotlight from the T-Rex for a movie, because like T-Rex isn't the only big cool theropod. Let's give some other dinosaurs some spotlight, but people will continue to whine and cry about just their T-Rex, their precious T-Rex dying that they've had no prior attachments to. It's not even the T-Rex from the first Jurassic Park movie. Yeah, it annoys me too that people threw fits about that. It just seems stupid to me. I'm curious not only how a Beast T-Rex would stand, but something that big with so many joints and bipedal. I'm not worried about the joints, necessarily all of that, but just the standing. That's really, if he can keep the joints tight, then cool. I think that if he well balances the figure, it can work. It can work. It's not anything that hasn't been done before, but counterbalancing, the head and the tail is going to be very, very interesting operation. And you're going to be a little bit more limited, especially when you do certain poses. It's going to be harder to keep it balanced, like if you're trying to lean its head forward or something like that. Oh, yeah, its joints would be able to hold it up, I'm sure, because, I mean, the joints, you can make the joints tight enough. I've seen joints tight enough on much bigger figures. I mean, look at that, for example, that big Godzilla figure up there. David Silva works for NECA. I'm pretty sure he actually worked on the 2014 Godzilla as well. If he didn't, I know he worked on the newer one. And so, yeah, if he worked on that figure in particular, he definitely knows how to keep the joints tight for giant figures like that. So wouldn't worry about it. Everyone knows that Triceratops is the ultimate killing machine of mass genocide. He can kill anything. Oh, yeah. So what's your opinion on Indoraptor, or is he an insult to the I-Rex? Originally, I probably would have said insult to the I-Rex, but it's got some interesting points to it, but I do definitely think it's far inferior to the I-Rex, in my opinion. Got the Safari LTD 2019 Allosaurus in the mail from Everything Dinosaur recently. That's awesome. The Allosaurus is sweet. It's a very cool dinosaur. I'm kind of concerned for some of the ceratopsians from Beast Mesozoic because loose heads could be a problem. I wouldn't be too concerned with the joints on those big guys. It seems like it'd be a little easier to keep the joints tighter on those, but we'll see. I wouldn't get too worked up about it just yet, though. Most of the documentaries featuring famous actors are distracting because they try to turn it into a performance. Why I love One Dinosaur North America is because John Goodman reads the script in his normal voice. Yeah, John Goodman does an amazing job. One Dinosaur North America is really great. My SH Monster Arts King Ghidorah 2019 has arrived, opening in about 15 or so minutes. Whoa, bro, that's pretty sweet. I hope that yours has great joints and it doesn't fall apart. Do you think Destroyer will be introduced in the MonsterVerse? I think so at some point. I mean, if it continues on, then I think it'd be a great idea to add him. If he shows up in Godzilla vs. Kong, though, I'm going to lose my crap. I really don't want that to happen. Don't give Godzilla and Kong an enemy to fight. Just let them beat the crap out of each other. I just got my first Beast Mesozoic Raptor that's Zenuan Long from Everything Dinosaur. It's pretty sweet, but can't stand for the life of me, which always sucks. Yeah, I have the Tenuan Long too. I love that one. Mine stands fine, but then again, you're supposed to use the base, so yeah, it's not supposed to stand on its own without the base. Which one are you talking about? So did you ever collect or have interest in Bionicle? And if you had, what was your favorite wave? Well, I have a Bionicle right up there. There's the Baraki Elec. I used to be mega into Bionicle. Huge fan. Toamari is definitely my favorite line. The Baraki are also great. So just 2007 thing is by far my favorite. I love that line so much. Bionicle was awesome. As a T-Rex fan, my main issue with how poorly it was done added nothing to the film, and killing T-Rex doesn't... Oh, you're talking about JP3. And it doesn't make Spinosaurus less badass and more subhorned in for the hell of it. It added nothing to the film. I mean, personally, to me, I think that it adds a lot of value because, for one, T-Rex has been established as the, the top baddie. No dinosaur can contest the T-Rex for the 2 films. And then Spinosaurus comes in, kills a T-Rex like nothing. That adds a whole new layer of threat. That means, whoa, this thing is way more scary than a T-Rex. We thought the T-Rex was scary. This thing's way, way scarier. So it adds a lot of value in that context. Now, in terms of whether or not you're upset with it, then sure. I mean, that's a subjective thing. I think that it's just a little silly to me that people let it get to them, that T-Rex just has to hold the spotlight constantly. I don't understand why people just can't let another dinosaur take that over. And it's like, and they even have the excuse that it was a young T-Rex, which is like, just let it go. I don't understand why it has to be such a big deal for so long. That's just my personal opinion. But in terms of not adding anything to the film, I disagree. I love the G-Man so much, but I don't want King Kong to die / get beat. I'm not sure who I want to win. I want Godzilla to win because I think he deserves to win. He's the king of the monsters. And if Kong beats Godzilla, then Godzilla's not king of the monsters. Kong is king of the monsters. King Kong has never, ever, 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 ever been king of the monsters. He's been king of Skull Island, and if he beats Godzilla, it's just bullcrap. In my opinion, it's bullcrap. I think that Godzilla needs to win, and I'm also on the side where I love this Kong, and I don't want to see him die. What I would like to see is that the humans interfere with, and I know this is going to be controversial, but I'd love to see the humans interfere and get Godzilla and Kong to win, or to beat each other up, to fight. There's something that causes them to fight. And at the end of the movie, Godzilla beats Kong. He's about to kill him. He's charging up his atomic breath. He's got Kong down. Kong has no fight left in him, right? He's about to charge it up. And then Godzilla remembers something that happened, and he sees it from Kong's point of view. It shows the humanity within Godzilla. It shows that character development that we've been seeing progress through this Godzilla, and that we've seen in Godzilla before. And he recognizes something within Kong, and he spares his life. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Godzilla be a definitive winner. But then he's like, you know what? I don't need to kill you. You know I'm the boss now. You can go back to your island and do your thing. I understand why you're fighting. I understand what your point of view is, but I'm the boss. And now we've established that. That's over. So I think that's how it should end. I want Godzilla to win, and I want Kong to still be alive. That's my most optimal ending. But we'll see. There's so many different ways this movie can go, and so many ways it could just go completely wrong. But I'm really excited, but I'm definitely more nervous about it than I am excited, if I'm being honest. Tell me what you guys think. How do you guys want the movie to end? And what do you think of my opinion and my little idea of how Godzilla versus Kong should end? I'm sorry, but if anyone thinks Kong stands a chance against the Big G, I think he does. You need to take a step back. In Skull Island, he went down to napalm. He was tiny, though. A size change doesn't matter. The atomic breath is way, Mo, I think you mean, more powerful. Kong shouldn't be able to survive. Well, if you think about it, Godzilla takes some pretty heavy hits from the Mutos, right? The Mutos were able to kick Godzilla down on his butt, and were beating the living crap out of him, right? If you can believe that the Mutos can beat the crap out of him, Kong is way stronger than the Mutos physically. A big Kong is going to have way more powerful punches. He's definitely going to be able to beat a lot of sense out of Godzilla. The thing is, I actually think that too big of a Kong is a detriment to him, because the bigger he is, the easier of a target he is for Godzilla to land his really powerful attacks, to land his atomic breath. But the smaller he is, I think there's a balancing act. The smaller that he is, he just doesn't stand a chance. So I think if you're right in the middle where he's small enough that he can avoid and dodge Godzilla's attacks, and he can climb up onto Godzilla, but he's big enough where his punches are going to do some damage. And I do think he would stand a chance. I don't think he should win, but I do think he would stand a chance. That's just my personal opinion. I somehow want Kong and Zilla to be equals, and also your prediction rocks, Kiki. It'd be sick if it played out like that. See, okay, we have one other person that likes that idea. Cool. reviews on the critics, they're going to slam it. My prediction, it's going to be like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. I hope Kong shoves a tree down Godzilla. I hope he does too. I want them to make a reference to that where Kong just takes a tree, shoves it into Godzilla's mouth, and then he like bites it in half or something. Just like a reference to the old version, but it's like a more serious version. So like it's not gonna have something goofy where just Kong is choking out Godzilla with a tree, but it makes a reference to it because he shoves it into his mouth and Godzilla just bites it in half, shakes it off. I want Godzilla to do some big boy damage to Kong, but not kill him. Okay, so we have another person who agrees on that. The Mike Kikizilla has a biggest chance, strongest arms, stronger than Kong at 1%. Well, I hope they do something with the kaiju from King of the Monsters. I think they will because they're all heading to Skull Island. I think they will. Godzilla got double teamed. I don't see how Kong is anywhere near the threat of Ghidorah. He's not near the threat of Ghidorah, that's for sure. But standing a chance against Godzilla? Yeah, sure. Godzilla got a lot of help against King Ghidorah. I think that he'd stand a chance against Godzilla. Godzilla could underestimate him. He has something that Ghidorah doesn't, that he could be small enough to avoid Godzilla's attacks. So there you go. I can bet the Godzilla and Kong will join forces somehow and defeat some other. If that happened, that is the worst possible scenario. I don't want Godzilla to die, but I'd like it better if Kong killed Godzilla than if they teamed up to fight another monster. Don't do it. It's Godzilla versus Kong. Don't pull a Batman versus Superman on us. Don't do it. Just do not do it. It's so funny how people say mottos. I mean, I'm fine with it being said, but I like to say Muto. Muto? Oh, you mean Mutos. Muto. Like when people say emu, it's emu. Okay. Yeah, I understand. I mean, you can say it whichever way you want. Also, I forgot, that's what the thing I was got. Godzilla got double teamed. Yeah, but the female Muto alone packed a real punch on Godzilla. And I still think that Kong's strength is still like both the female and male Muto combined. So I don't think that's that much of an argument against Kong. Maybe they should do the thing where Kong tried to break the Skullcrawler's jaw, and then he fails, like he tries to shove a tree down Godzilla's throat, but just atomic breaths it. Yeah, either that or he just bites it in half. I think that would be awesome. I'd love to see Kong like try to do that on. I think at the beginning of this movie they might establish that Kong is older by maybe having him snap the jaw of a Skullcrawler or some other Titan or something, and then later in the movie he'll try to do that to Godzilla, and then Godzilla's going to just give him a face full of atomic breath. That would be awesome. Despite Kong being smaller than Godzilla, he's supposed to be 300 feet tall. Roughly 300 feet tall? I don't think so. I tried giving D-Man a tip on this a while ago. He just never reported on it. But in Conan O'Brien's, one of Conan O'Brien's stand-up things, actually it was at Comic-Con for Dogzilla and Corgi Kong and Dogzilla. I think that's what it was. King Corgi and Dogzilla. I think that's what it was. Either way, in that he said that Kong was going to be 270 feet tall. Now, Conan is on the Warner Brother lots. He's working with Warner Brothers, so it would make sense that he'd get some better information. To the discredit of it, though, they did use the 2014 Godzilla's height. They said 355 feet, but this new Godzilla is 393. So that could have just been outdated information that they got from the Godzilla. But I think that might be, an inside scoop on the Kong height, which is 270 feet tall. So and I'd be pretty happy with that. I've always been saying that I wanted Kong to be around 250 feet tall, so he's around Godzilla's shoulders. But since Godzilla's a little bigger, 270 feet, I think that'd be pretty good. So, and it matches up to how big Kong looks inside that promo picture because their heads are about the same size, and Godzilla's head's fairly small compared to his body. So I'm hoping that's 270 feet. If it's 207 feet, I'll be really happy. Yes, the female Muto stood a chance before, but that was before Godzilla got juiced. Yep. He's not juiced anymore, though. He is a lot more powerful, though, because he has the bigger spines and everything. He's gotten he's been doing some weightlifting. And the only way I could see Kong winning is if while Godzilla tried to get some atomic breath going on Kong, sucker punches Godzilla and just keeps going, keeps on doing that. Yeah, I could see Kong getting on Godzilla's back and just punching his head repeatedly and like getting him unconscious and then snapping his jaw or his neck or something. Have you seen the Lion King remake? Nope, and I don't want to. I think the cave bear and the short-faced bear are bigger than a polar bear. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I love Rodan, but I'm hoping we get to see this new Kong's new size and strength by killing off Rodan. No. I want him to kill something to show his new strength, but not Rodan. Why Rodan? No. I want Rodan to stick around. I want Godzilla and Rodan to have this negative relationship towards each other. Like Rodan's submissive to Godzilla right now, but eventually he becomes a rebel, throws a fit. You know, they get into a fight or something. I'd love to see Godzilla and Rodan get into a fight because I think that would be a really interesting fight. But I want to see Godzilla and Rodan have this relationship evolve where they eventually team up and become allies, like in some of the older movies. But I always liked how they really bumped heads, and then eventually they got to working together, and they figured out that working together was better than working against each other. So yeah. Question: Giant Overwatch mech versus Godzilla. Is that even a fight? Dude, that thing's like puny. That thing's like like halfway up Godzilla's shin. It's not even a fight. When do you think Safari Ltd had its breakthrough year? 2017. Stop spoiling King of the Monsters. Stop it now. Who's spoiling King of the Monsters? When do you think Safari Ltd had its breakthrough year? I already read that. Rodan throws a fit. Oh, yeah. I really would love to see like Rodan literally throw a temper tantrum because that's just kind of how his character is. He's very juvenile, very self-centered. He's very rebellious. He's kind of like a outlaw cowboy kind of character. I really would love to see him just like throw a fit about Godzilla, being the boss or something and just like fight him. And I do think that Rodan would stand a pretty good chance against him. I don't think that he'd win, but I think he'd stand a pretty good chance because he has a lot of agility on Godzilla, and he's got a lot of very fast and powerful moves that he can use on Godzilla that'd be pretty tough for Godzilla to avoid. I don't think that they do that yet. I think that Rodan is just more submissive to Godzilla at this point. Like, he submitted to King Ghidorah after he got his butt kicked. So, yeah. I don't think that he's gonna do that yet. Rodan, I don't care if you're sad. You need to eat your taco. Wait, hang on. Godzilla had his 2014 dorsal fins for millions of years, but it takes 5 years to get new ones. How does that work? Illuminati confirmed. Well, you haven't seen the comic book then, huh? Because he blows his spines off in like a nuclear pulse attack on the Shinjin Mushi, and that's how he destroys his spines, and he grows back new ones. And I don't know if he's necessarily had those ones for millions of years, but he might have. But I definitely know that he changed his new spines because he blew them apart when he was getting the Jinjin Mushi off his back. No, scream! Oh God, Outlaw Cowboy. I can now imagine Rodan riding a Skur Buffalo going, yeehaw. I hope Godzilla accidentally destroys Rodan's volcano, leading him to throw a temper tantrum. I think it'd be more like Rodan trying to like steal a taco truck, and then Godzilla takes it away from him and he puts it back down on the ground, and then Rodan's like, I wanted to eat that, and then like that. That's probably the most realistic way it'll go down. Do you ever want a Godzilla versus Bacon movie? Yeah, sure, maybe like an anime form or something like that. I think it'd be interesting. Okay, his wingspan is like 2.1 times as wide as Godzilla is tall. Yeah. He's got a pretty big wingspan. He's pretty small overall, though. I mean, Godzilla could probably stuff his head in his mouth. But, Rodan is my favorite kaiju from what I have seen. Rodan's pretty awesome. I'm tired of taking back seat to a giant lizard. I can effing fly. I need to get the NECA Rodan and Godzilla so that I can make a video called Rodan Throws a Fit. Yes. You actually called Chinchin Mushi, which translates to something rather messed up. I said Jinshin Mushi. Jinshin Mushi. It's the J and then Shin, like with the SH. Wait, is Rodan the fastest flying kaiju? I'd probably assume that he still is in this universe, but I know he was in the previous, incarnations of Rodan. He was always really fast, so yeah, I'd assume he is. He's a lot slower in this version because he's more realistic. He doesn't necessarily just pierce the sky as much as he did before, but he is really fast. I did saw the comic English, but it's kind of frustrating on how they never brought that up. Another thing in Godzilla movies I'm frustrated about is that no one makes a comment about his fins, how his fins glow. That's not the biggest thing. I mean, you can just kind of assume that they've learned, in the first movie, they don't have time to whoa, why is his fins blue? They're oh god, it's a giant lizard, his fins are glowing blue. Oh my god, he's shooting giant blue fire. Let's just run. Doesn't matter what it's doing. And then in King of the Monsters, I'm sure they figured out why it glows blue a long time ago, and so why would they talk about it in that movie 5 years later, right? So it doesn't bug me that much. But in terms of the how it just changes, and they never bring up the fins. I always just kind of was well, they never say in the first movie that Godzilla's spines have been the same for millions of years. They never say that, ever. They don't even say that in the original comic book. They never specify how his spines have been. So really, you could just think oh, they just changed and evolved and grew over time into the second one. And so that's kind of the way I think when I'm just watching the movies. I'm just oh yeah, his fins just changed. But obviously, narrative or in canon universe-wise, he just blew his spines off and changed them. So, wait, is Rodan the fan? I already read that. Guys, don't forget that Godzilla can fly. Just remember the show of this. Okay, I'm not even going to go into this. Godzilla's atomic breath takes a long, very realistic amount of time to power up because he's so big. I think Shin Godzilla's breath powers up way too quickly. Yeah, Shin Godzilla's got a lot more problems than just how fast his beam powers up. Shin also has to use his big smoke first to build it up. He really gets no break in 2016. He adapts them to be ready for it. So how much of a Gamera or Ultraman, I think fan, you mean fan, are you if you ever watched a movie or episode? I've watched a little bit of Ultraman. I don't like it. I really can't stand Ultraman. Gamera is pretty cool in the Heisei series. I don't really care for any other interpretation of Gamera, period. But the Heisei version, oh my god, Gamera's awesome. He's freaking awesome. He's awesome. It's sad because when I was little, I watched the Heisei ones, and I loved it. And I was like, Gamera's cool, and he was always up there, right under Godzilla, in terms of how awesome he was. But I always just thought the Showa films are just older versions of him. I never really had that much of a will to go back to them. But eventually, I'll go back and watch the old ones. I'm sure they're just kind of more cheesy versions of these cool stories. They're just so bad. They're so bad. They're nothing like the Heisei version. The Heisei version is way superior. If you try to get into Gamera, go for the Heisei stuff and avoid everything else at all costs. Just period. God. So how much of a Gamera? I already read that. Rodan, you're supposed to be awesome. Stop acting like a baby. No. I mean, when do you think they really got good before 2017? 2010? I don't know. Maybe 2013 or probably 2013. When they were making the Diablo and stuff like that. I think they made some pretty cool stuff then. But Gamera is friend to all children. Eric, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Earth Godzilla wasn't as a bad movie series. It had some issues, but overall very good. I liked the first movie. Second one sucked, and I never watched the third one because I knew it was going to suck. And I heard a lot of good things about my opinion. I'll put it that way. I don't care for Gamera the Brave. I don't get why people are upset about the ending of The Revenge of Iris. I thought that ending was awesome. That's actually the same as me. I never watched the third movie. Hey, Kiki, how are things doing? I'm alive. How are you? Thoughts on Safari LTD 2010 Live Pleurodon? It's alright. It's nothing special. Gamera the Brave is for me. Also, Gamera dies and is replaced with his son Toto. Planet Eater Ghidorah is way too OP and just kind of boring. I think it would be bad if Smilodon did not die. That was random and out of context. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Yeah, you're talking about the lion and Smilodon fight from earlier. Hating Gamera is like hating, I don't know, a friend to all children. Okay. Yeah, the fire Godzilla, what everybody's been calling Fire Godzilla for the longest time, has been confirmed to be Burning Godzilla in the special features of Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I own it, and I've seen all the special features except for the commentary. I need to watch that. They actually call him Burning Godzilla in there, so yeah, it's Burning Godzilla. Gamera nexted film should be Gamera versus To Catch a Predator. Oh god. Gamera feels like the DC of kaiju, while Godzilla is basically the MCU. I don't know about that. I think it's a little harsh. I think Ultraman's more the DC stuff. It's all just crap. I know some people are going to get offended by that, but who cares? Friend all children, either Gamera is a pedophile or results kids on LG. The sad thing is that he's actually a friend to all children, so I don't know if either of those two would have actually been better answers for a monster. I mean, Gamera is lesser popular, not really an insult. Well, Marvel and DC were kind of even back in the comics days. I mean, I guess in terms of like the cinematic universes, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, but who wins? Ultimate Kaiju from PR, Pacific Rim Uprising, or 2014 Godzilla? Bias aside, the Pacific Rim Uprising Ultimate Kaiju thing is just kind of lame, to be honest. I think it'd stand a pretty good fight against Godzilla 2014, but I don't think he'd win. I don't think he'd win at all. Yeah, he's smaller than Godzilla too, so Godzilla's got the size advantage. I think it just ended up being like the female Muto, really. And that one, while he does have like that cool like thing where he can absorb the power and then like punch really hard, Godzilla doesn't slam that much, so he's not going to really get that much out of that. And the female Muto had the EMP attack, which is a lot more useful. The electromagnetic field too. So I still think that the female Muto stood a better chance than that thing did. Hot take. I like the original Burning Godzilla more than the new one. Burning Godzilla and King of the Monsters wasn't my favorite thing ever. I think it was cool. I think it was really badass, but yeah, I like the regular blue version of Godzilla better. Thermonuclear Godzilla. It's a long name. I like Burning Godzilla a little better. It sounds cool and imminent danger. Because things are burning. That's another reason I really like the new Burning Godzilla, is because like even though I think he's like really consistently red, which makes a lot more sense. To be fair, it makes a lot more sense than how Godzilla in the Godzilla versus Destroyer movie has like just patches of burning on him. I think that design looks really cool, but it doesn't make as much sense. So I'm not really holding that much against the King of the Monsters version, but I really like how the King of the Monsters version really felt a lot more hot. It felt really vivid, and I liked how he melted everything around him. I thought that was really cool. But I like both versions. I don't know which one I like better. Zilla would win against the Godzillasaurus. Easy. It's not much of a fight either. I bought King of the Monsters on release day. Hell yeah, brother. I love Pacific Rim 1, but Can't be bothered to watch 2. Yeah, the second one sucks. For Gamera's arch nemesis, Gaius is really weak when compared to Ghidorah. I don't know. Gaius has a laser that can cut through stuff, and Gamera has a shell, so that's the reason he can kind of deal with it. I think Gaius would be a pretty tough enemy for Godzilla. Burning Godzilla less than professionally roasts things to a crisp. Oh yeah. There's a fan-made prediction fight that's really well animated. It's a prediction of Godzilla versus Kong. It's very entertaining. I don't know which one it is. I don't think I've seen it. Heisei Burning should have been like SH Monsters Explosion Godzilla Comic Con exclusive. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Have you ever watched Neon Genesis Evangelion? Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. I love that. It's like the only anime I really love besides One Punch Man. I don't really watch anime, but I love Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't like the Rebuild series. The Rebuild series sucks. But yeah, I love that. Who would win, Shin Godzilla or Monster X? God, I just want everything to beat the living crap out of Shin Godzilla. I don't know. I think Shin Godzilla would stand a fairly decent chance because his lasers are pretty good, but I don't know if he can charge him up in time for him to not be like punched the hell out of by Monster X. I think it'd be a pretty interesting fight, though. Nice, Kiki. You should watch One Punch Man. And you watched One Punch Man. Have you seen season 2? If so, what do you think of Garu? I haven't seen season 2 yet. Need to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. I was screaming when Burning Godzilla came into screen, just melting everything. Yeah, dude, that was freaking awesome. I really didn't like Shin Godzilla. It was such a take on G-Man. Yeah, I don't care for Shin Godzilla either. In your opinion, is Evangelion ruined by the ending? Nah. I still prefer the end of Evangelion ending better, though. If the show was left without the end of Evangelion, then yes, I would agree. Or I would say so. Yeah, but with the end of Evangelion, I like that ending a lot because it shows a little bit more. And I get it's trying to go all philosophical and deep, but it's because of production cuts. It's not because they planned to do it that way. They were running out of budget, and so they had to make really cheap last 2 episodes. And yeah, it got deep into Shinji's psyche, but it was just not entertaining to watch. You can get a lot out of it. There's a lot of good, meaty material there for the psyche of the characters on there. But when I first watched it, I was like, what the hell? This is not, like, this is boring. This is depressing. And I know it's supposed to be depressing. I was still depressed with the end of Evangelion, but in a good, proper way. I felt like it was entertaining, and it gave me a full closure on what actually happened. It was just a lot more creative, too. I think it was really great. Very well done ending. How are your fish doing? They're all good. They're all good. What if Kong met Bigfoot? What if Kong is Bigfoot? I haven't seen any of the old classic Godzilla films. Oldest one I've seen is the 1998 Godzilla. Hey, that movie is pretty decent in my opinion either way, though. I don't mind it as a movie. I'm going to go open my Ghidorah. See you in a little bit. See you, Nova. I'm about to end the stream anyways because I have physical therapy here in 30 minutes. So I have to get the stream off and get ready for that. Kong versus Ava Unit 1. Who wins? Ava Unit 1. I think Ava Unit 1 would even kick Godzilla's butt, to be honest. What you mentioned both endings as Evangelion, so which one is which? The season ending is the last 2 episodes, 25 and 26. Those episodes are replaced by the movie End of Evangelion. I prefer that version. It fills in the space of the 25th and 26th episodes, but instead of being in Shinji's mind as everything is happening, you see what actually happens. So yeah, I basically watch when I rewatched it. I watched up to episode 24 and then just went straight to End of Evangelion. And I skipped the last 2 episodes. Yeah, it's very interesting. Who would win, Red King or Orga? Orga? I don't think Red King's that powerful of a kaiju. But I guess maybe someone could prove me wrong. So gotta go. It was so enjoyable having the chance to talk to you and see you in another stream. Yeah, thanks, Jimzilla, for stopping by, man. You were asking a lot of questions. I was really enjoying it myself. Thanks for joining in. Have a good day, man. Also got the Swear LCD 2014 Megalodon said in Jason Statham's voice. Megalodon. At my local museum recently. That's pretty cool. I have one as well. I don't think it's the best figure, but it's pretty interesting. My thoughts on Shakespearean writing with This Is Born and This Is Depressing. Who would win, Blueberry or Red Tooth? I don't know. Maybe you'll find out. I did the hybrid about Isopod. That's pretty intense. I have a tendency for making my characters suffer. Well, that's kind of like the whole point of making them have a challenge to go through, right? It's not really that terrible. Yeah. So we're almost at 1 hour and 20 minutes. At 1 hour and 20 minutes, I'm going to end it. But I've been really enjoying this. So if you guys have any more questions, let's go ahead and shoot them now so I can answer them before the 1 hour, 20 minute mark. It's 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 43 seconds. When you said, pretty intense, the sounded like yoga. Yes. Who would win, Red Tooth or Guts? The answer is clearly Red Tooth. Oh yeah. Clearly. I sent it to you. Cool. I'll check it out once I get off the stream. I need to go, so bye and cool videos. Thank you, Lukezilla. I'll catch you in another stream, hopefully, or in the comment section of my next video. Are you a fan of the Dark Crystal? Don't remember what that is. Don't know. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. So I'd say no. Wait, what? Yeah. I almost thought it said like Godzilla vs. Kong, but I didn't think it was. I think I was going insane. Thought I saw something for Godzilla vs. Kong pop up. I'm just checking my schedule here. Yeah, 3:45. Are you a fan? Dark Crystal looks horrible. Kill Watch Watership Down on Netflix. It has rabbit communism. Oh God. Alamation Productions. Have you seen it? What is your favorite Stratosaur model? I don't know. The Sultry Venator and the Collector Sultry Venator and Stratosaur was probably my 2 favorites. Bye, I say. Bye, Brezzy. Where can I find the original Pacific Rim? Does American Netflix have it? Australian one did. I don't know if it's on Netflix. I don't think it is. But you can find it in a store or online. Oh, I like them all. The only one I don't, that I think is a dud, is the Berry. I don't think they made it any better than the The original version is not that much bigger. You can skip kind of early on in the stream, and you can see my full thoughts. But yeah, I like all of them except the nerdy. I see Pacific Rim in Barnes and Noble all the time for $5. Well, there you go. If you have a Barnes and Noble animation, then go check that out. I don't know if they're in Australia, but maybe they are. Sultry Venator is cool. Very obscure. Gots to go, Aiden. Life is calling me. Caw-caw. Bye-bye, Hadrosaur. Yeah. So I think the questions are now... when will Bone Crusher be seen? Episode 5 of Mesozoic Kyle. All right, I think the questions are done. So I'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. And I'll see you guys hopefully soon in my next production video. So, bye-bye. That's not the right thing. Bye.